I'm Emma from Year 7 and here in Zhuhai, China. Today, I'm going to talk to you about one of our most valuable resources, time. Mark Twain advised, if it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to eat it first thing in the morning. Point being, begin with doing the most difficult tasks first, which leads me to my topic for today, procrastination. What is that, you might ask? Well, procrastination is something lots of people struggle with, probably even some of you. Procrastination is leaving things to last minute. I am a procrastinator. Maybe I should reframe that. More on that later. At school, I can't focus when there isn't pressure from a time constraint for work. For example, I used to do my homework in the morning, and I would hand it in right before it was due. I don't want to be a procrastinator. I want to be someone who, when given an assignment, finishes right away with great quality. Let's imagine a scenario. For example, 3 weeks to a deadline. There are normally two types of people. First, the procrastinator. And secondly, the precrastinator. As you can see, they both look very stressed. Precrastination is the practice doing an activity that is better saved for later. Precrastinators do a task too soon, as opposed to procrastinators, who leave things until it's too late. If people do this because they are worried about handing things in late, this can cause stress, and it can also cause you to lack detail in your work. Instead of being a pre or procrastinator, we should all aim to be somewhere around the middle. I think it's time for me to admit something. At the beginning of the school year, I was given an assessment. I found excuse after excuse and left it till last minute. And turns out I didn't have enough time to finish. I got a big, fat 0 on that summative, all because I procrastinated. I promised myself that I would never procrastinate ever again, but I took no steps to improve. So a few weeks later, in the same class, with the same teacher, we had a research report due. Unfortunately, I was sick with COVID and wasn't able to complete the task by the deadline. So I asked my teacher for an extension, and he graciously agreed. I should have been grateful for the opportunity and immediately finished. But instead, I delayed yet again and missed the second deadline. Days went by. Soon those days turned into weeks, and eventually it became over a month late without me still handing it in. Once school reopened, I rushed straight to the teacher's office and apologized sincerely. Luckily, he forgave me, but I needed to make sure that I didn't end up in that situation ever again. And so far, I'm doing pretty well, but sometimes fall into the trap of complacency. So, as part of my efforts, I have done some research into the types of procrastinators and ways to avoid procrastination. So, according to Dr. Hendrickson, a professor at the Boston University, there are 3 types of procrastinators. First, the avoider. Second, the overconfident. And finally, the joy seeker. I feel that I'm a combination of the joy seeker and the avoider because I always make up excuses for why my work is late, and I get easily distracted. I understand that going into middle school can be a challenging experience, which is only made worse by the sudden increase in freedom. We often lack organizational and time management skills, which are necessary to take advantage of our newfound independence. Students, we need to work harder to achieve better goals, and I know that I felt overwhelmed with the transition because I felt that there was an increase in workload and less guidance. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "I am what I am today because of the choices that I made yesterday." This quote really speaks to me because every day we have a new chance to make new opportunities for tomorrow. What do you want your tomorrow to be? Thank you.